Some of the Nagis, a lot of these Nagis getting lured by that chat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 points. 55, 60, 65. 70 points of Naginata. Oh, we are dropping down with a box. It's starting. There's only one way to know how it'll end, and that's take a look at these fleets. Okay, not oops all seals, but both frontline fleets are rocking voxels. Duke of Stars with half voxel, half caps. Flynn with double voxel with support. Scrubbus with a missile monstrosity. And Black... Man, double backline, and then half cap, and then skirmishing. This is also just incredible. Incredible. Gaming, yeah, Colon 3 being a pretty normal build, all things considered. Let's start going through these fleets. Scrubbus with one single Axford. Hybrid 3's on top, Hybrid 2's on the sides, beam underslung. This is, god damn it, what was it called? Back to the Sea. I can never remember what it was actually called. Hunter's Missile Axford Monstrosity. Hemlock. Yeah, but like before Hemlock, it was something else too. It turned it into Hemlock eventually. All right, Flynn, Mark 64's jamming, locking on the sprinter. Duke of Stars. More gun voxels with some Naginata support, as well as, oh my goodness, some naked capping boxes, some absolute shitbox sprinters with effectively nothing in them that are gonna exist just to be thrown onto points. Black Bat, of course, with spam toes. Spam, 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 spam. Tavi monitors, 5 of them. And one shuttle, actually, with double Bellbirds. What? Oh, Bellbirds. For a second, I thought these were Lyrebirds, and I was really confused. I was like, how did you even afford that? Yeah, pretty... A little bit of a standard monitor build, a little cringed. Not bad. Hive Gender with Carrier. Oh, a little more of a normal-ish carrier instead of spam hell. Sturgeons, barracudas, and pikes. Might bite Hive Gender in the ass there. Because spam's pretty good. It's so good that the public testing branch is trying to tackle that at least a little bit. Internet spaceships with a plasma bulker broadsider with some 100 mil all around. GBR, tug, and some, I don't even know what to call these. Bulldozers. Some bulldozers. They're just little blobs of meat. It's a tug with a C-30. About the same price as a shuttle with a pair of T-20s, but a little beefier. A little slower too, but it's fine. A couple naked shuttles as well being yoted out to the alpha point. And Scapegoat with 2 SLOs, 1 450, 1 rail, and 1 LRT tug. Hybrid launches out on the bottom of the map. And the Meat Lord! One of the bulk freighters, Internet's bulk freighter. The Plasma Anchor, man. Plasma eating missiles early might be a huge problem. Well, not really. This team doesn't have a battleship. But this is an expensive loss. It's probably not going to die, but eating those missiles early on, I think one of those at least was HEKP with how that blows through the hull. And a whole lot of 250 HE. This is going to be severely degraded. Double kill on Discourse. Line ship OP. Honestly, forget about that one. But it's kind of the same people that are in the voxel underpowered crowd. Just like clearly does not understand how the video game works. Very sad. Very sad. Monitor is absolutely annihilating the sprinters here on the Alpha Point with Bombshell. Westby also throwing some Nikki boys into the Alpha Point. Both teams just throwing absolute trash here to try and deny the other one's capping capabilities. The ANS might just pull it out if the 100 mil plus the Bombshell can't clean these up really fast. Gooey Save and Ready Bloke, neither of them are dead yet, and as long as you ain't dead, you can cap. Jack of Flight coming in. I don't think they're gonna have anything though. Yeah, some rocket pods. It's not great though. I was gonna have to face down 2 voxel wings of RPF and a few SDMs as well. Bye. SDM2 is quite good. Alpha Point does go to the ANS. Gooey Save dies for it, and the Ready Bloke is going to die for it here very shortly. But that is a really good opening move here for this voxel team. But for fighters? I don't know. Linguistic science has not advanced far enough for me to give you an appropriate answer. Call back in 10 to 15 business days. Figure that one out when we figure out cold fusion. How about that? The Black Bat this time trying desperately to stay as far the fuck away from the enemy as he can. Cleanly park those levies way on the other side of the map, not getting that carrier caught out twice. It's only 10 years away! Yeah, it was 10 years away in the 80s too. How did that work out? I remember having those conversations. 10 years into cold fusion, man. And then the internet came out and people were like, oh yeah, it's definitely 10 years to cold fusion now. And now it's the future. Anyways, we do have Spamtos swinging out across the bottom of the map. They can catch this, yeah, it's 12 Spamtos. If they can catch Mary Ellen Carter here, what? the container liner, which is rocking carriers. These Barracudas are loaded for bear. For ASF, but you just don't have the mass. And you absolutely have to outmass Tantos. If you don't outmass Tantos, you're kind of fucked. They do out-missile them, so they might be able to get a mass advantage early. Or the Tantos might just run out of range, honestly. Fighters are engaging. OSP anti-space fighter. Wow, that's those are gonna get wasted against Spamtos. Yeah, these are gonna be able to clean up. Yeah, good. That's how that should go. They expended a ton of missiles, but they also wasted about 72 of ANS's semi-active missiles. Though those aren't very expensive, that adds up. ANS also just like 12 planes. That's it's like an eighth of your plane depth, plane mag depth. Looks like the voxels do get in range enough to dump some STMs down at the Barracudas that are too busy fighting the Tantos to defend themselves. You'll lose a few there. With those STM2s being spent... Oh, voxels actually killing their own missiles as they fly in. Bit of a waste there. The Sturgeons are just gonna have to leave. They can't face this down. No way. Must be has to get something done, and they have to get it done quick. The voxels are storming onto the map, both sides. Pale Trek and Red Dust over on the Charlie Point, and then made to be crushed. Nuclear wind at my back and downward spiral winding to hell. More great ship names here. Heading over to the Echo Point, the Lusty Amigo is trying to defend it. Might run into the User Happy. I'm very happy to see appropriate R&D time has been spent on the ship names here. At the end of the tournament, not everybody knows this, but after the finals are completed, the real challenge and the real prize will be given to whoever had the best ship names over the course of the tournament. Another flight of Tontos getting BVR'd into the moon. Over investment of missiles there at a ballista flight. That was excessive. That was very excessive. But you did, right? You know, all's well that ends well, I suppose. Red Dust getting bombshelled, which does nothing to voxels. Is a bit silly to see that happening. The Meat Lord coming in to the alpha point here. Yeah, I guess with plasma on one side and container launches on the other side. It's pretty meaty. It's getting RPF'd. They think it's a shuttle headed there for the alpha point. It is not. That's gonna be able to get down to the alpha point without taking hardly any damage. Okay, the looks like the voxels, the Red Dust, and the Pale Trek have realized that this is, in fact, not a shuttle, and are firing their HE rounds at it. NS got strong control on the Echo side. They just have to run into the point and actually grab it. They have complete map dominance on this side of the map. Guy down and Lusty Amigo, god damn it, over here trying to defend it, and Nat find this. Eel yucky. You know what? Yeah, eel is yucky. Eel yucky. That's my mood for the day, is eel yucky. I think the Meat Lord's going to be able to grab that alpha point. OSP also on the Charlie point with Flesh. Flesh flying right in here. He's going to have to face down the Value Judgment. Oh, I see. That's mean. Names it the Value Judgment off of one of the starter fleets, and turns out it's not that. So if your intel ever finds it and decrypts it, they go, "Oh, it's an Axford out of Oak," but not exactly. Some of the Nagis, a lot of these Nagis getting lured by that chat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 points. 55, 60, 65. 70 points of Naginata getting pulled by that Tug's chaff on the Charlie point. Damn. That is painful. That Tug absolutely worth his weight in gold right now. I bet that's most of the SDM2s on this thing. Oh yeah, only got one left. 70 points just gone. Vanished to the chaff realm from that Tug. And this Barracuda flight's able to leave with very little damage. They did lose a few planes, but most of them are still here and able to engage the Spamtos that are up here on top of the map. We got 22 Spamtos, some of which are coil, but BVR, baby. S1 Hell Spam and SDM2 Spam, like, you can't stand up to that. I think Jenner might have waited a little bit before firing those S1s there. Black Bat's doing a really good job of the micro with backing the planes off as soon as the missiles fire to try and make them run out of gas, which they have done. Photon Flight now engaging with the Flechette and the 20mm, but the Tontos, no missile support. They got some coil guns, they got some 20mm. They got a lot of mass. Not quite enough. These Shurikens it'll really hammer these planes. Although with Cyclone Flight coming in here from the flank, the Barracudas are going to immediately die. You're in a 4-ball. Whoever gets reinforcements. Oh my god. Reinforcements is going to lose. Or is going to win and murder the other team horribly. Those Spamtos able to absolutely crush the ballista flight up here. I think that's going to be... So this is why fighter spam is super good. Is because if you have one really good engage and you crush your opponent's fighters, now your fighters have free reign as bombers. And you can also kill the enemy's bombers without your opponents being able to protect them very much. Ooh, Cello eating some S3H there out of the device. One who passed the torch. Good. I'm glad he passed the torch because this thing is dying. Can zombie up a little bit? Where are those being fired? Oh, I see. Old basic. Most of them missing, or rather getting chaffed. That's a lot of S1 wastage there. This fleet down here getting obliterated by the hybrids. Wow, cord out. There goes the one who passed the torch. Another round of hybrids coming in. Looks like from the voxels, or maybe the user happy. No, these are both the VLS2s. I guess that was just a off-angle attack from our friend Value Judgment. ANS up by about 200 points. OSP hemorrhaging a lot of their assets too. ANS has so far only lost 2 of their nearly naked ships. Some really smart gaming with keeping the voxels skirmishing. I'm half convinced that teams are bringing lots of voxels just because they're fucking sick and tired of the clowns and Balcon bitching about the voxel being bad. It's like, okay, here, you want some data? Here's your fucking data. How about voxel-centric fleets crushing in the tournament over and over again? These monitors are going to get devoured by the 250 AP and flank as well as the support S2Hs. Team out too, but not a good track. Actually, that's a locked track apparently. So just a bad aim point. Yeah, Scrubbus recognizing. Oh my nose! 1 second. So glad that people think it's okay to go to work while sick and get other people sick. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Value Judgment getting railed. Yeah, well, ostensibly for working class people, yes, but this person was the boss and went to work primarily because he was bored of sitting at home. Already got a lot of money, doesn't need to be at work, was bored, was also sick, and really likes to cough on things and on people. Great, thanks. Cyclone versus Cyclone over here. Tanto's got more mass. And the Barracudas are out of missiles. It is going to take a little while, but blue team is going to clean this up. We don't need to watch that. It looks like Tavi's about to be knocked out here. The Grand, only remaining ship of this formation down on the bottom. Bottom section of the map. And it's going to take a stark military lead here now with Tavi being out and Internet's being half out. Scapegoat also losing part of the front line. In fact, I think all the front line on this team is gone. How many monitors? I don't know. And I think it would be the absolute height of comedy if Hellbombed brings all monitors and then Colon 3 brings, like, either Bomber Hell Spam or Yub. Just absolutely murderous blind Yub into monitors is so dangerous. Hey, Judgment eating a few bombs over here. So fuck you, Scrubbus, for naming your shit Value Judgment. It confuses my brain. Clown. I know that's what he did it for, is to confuse people. But it still makes me upset. More bombs there. Yeah, this thing's in really bad shape. It's not out of the fight by any means, though. Can heal up, and once that beam gets back online, it can get back to being a big Aurora. Another a rocket strike out on one of the voxels. They are able to dodge most of it, though. Nuclear wind at my back, entirely fine, and made to be crushed is doing exactly that. Eating a few R3s, eating a few KBU2. Yeah, these are fired from way too far away, fellas. Way too far away. That's like 4 kilometers out. You don't need to do that. Well, I guess you kind of can engage them point blank with the sturgeons. Low sturgeon volumes will just get destroyed by the RPF and the defenders, so you have to launch far away. And that's why we group up our sturgeons. Groups of 8 are your friends for sturgeon gaming. Getting close, you drop your munitions, and you leave. You'll lose a couple ships. It's not a huge deal. Beyond Scorched Skies and the one who burned it all up here with not a single point defense turret between them, about to eat some Command Wake hybrids. Bye. Ooh, they're all going for the LRT. I was expecting them to be going for the wake ship, although I guess if the LRT's down, the wake ship is going to have a hell of a time, or the rail ship, sorry, is going to have a hell of a time getting tracks and shelling things. Still firing at the value judgment, and apparently not having that hard of a time. Although with that position, I imagine most of the OSP fleet has, well, what remains of the OSP fleet has a good track on the value judgment. Tabby down to, like 40% of a monitor. Okay, down to 0 monitors. Got it. Bye. See you later. Mary Ellen Carter in good shape, but a lot of those planes have been cut out. Yeah, no fighters remaining from Hive Gender, and Black Bat still full to the brim. Has over 20 on the field right now. Although most of those are RTB. They can easily kill the bombers that are still around. In fact, it looks like one of them's parked on the carrier. Okay. OSP recognized the game's over, and rather than try to play this out and try to pull ahead in a hopeless situation, they're gonna take the loss and move on to game 3 and be a little more fresh than they otherwise would. Not trying to avoid depleting their own energy there, which is good. Very smart tournament gameplay. You do have to do that when you're playing the tourney games. Only $6 grand out of the what are these? The little bitty baby planes, the Tontos.